All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the first annual Trading for Charity event. My name is Patrick France, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to be with you all. If you guys can hear me out there, if you guys can see everything coming through fine on your end, just let me know in the comments. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Glad to be here today. It's going to be a fun time. For anybody just tuning in, the Trading for Charity is something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. With the holiday season coming up, what better time than now? What it is we'll be live every Tuesday, like today, and also tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and we'll be live every Tuesday and Wednesday, up until December 10th week. So we've got a month that we're going to be going live, probably for at minimum an hour, depending on your guys' take and how you guys are handling everything. We could be going longer than that. So the more support, the longer we'll go. Simple as that. Our whole goal here is to raise money to help some kids that are less fortunate, that may not be able to spend time with their families over this holiday season. And you don't have to donate anything. Everything will be donated. If you subscribe to our channel, VectorVest will make a donation on your behalf. After we have, once we meet some of these goals, we'll be making some content here where Glenn Tompkins, a fellow senior instructor here on the YouTube channel and also here at VectorVest, will be going out to a local store. I'm not going to tell you guys which one quite yet. Purchasing some items that we can donate, and we'll be posting that content of us, not only purchasing those items, but also delivering them to the kids over or here on our YouTube page. So make sure you don't want to miss out for that. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so that way you get to see and you get notified whenever that content comes out as well. Exactly. Like Jay said, though, as always, smash that like button if you're here. Smash that like button if you're tuning in for the very first time. And so just to give you guys a little idea of what we're going to be talking about, what we're going to be doing here over the next month. So VectorVest has given me one of the access to one of our trading accounts that we use. So I will be doing some live trading. If you guys have stocks you want to take a look at, feel free to let me know in the chat as well. And we'll be taking a look at those, analyzing them, doing some live trading, and really just taking a look at what's going on in the market. If there's any major events going on, we'll definitely make sure we pay attention to those as well. But yeah, so welcome everybody. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. What we're going to do is we're going to start off on the homepage, take a quick look at what's going on in the market, and then we'll start to maybe try to find some stocks to get into or some trading ideas that maybe we could jump right into here today. So right now right on the homepage here, we start off with the market timing gauge at the very top center. The market is neutral and VectorVest advocates caution when buying stocks at this time. No surprise, we've had a great run in the markets over the last few days. And now we're seeing a slight pullback with the Dow down about 0.5%, NASDAQ also down about 0.5%, S&P 500 down about 0.4%. Overall, VectorVest Composite down about 0.2%. Hey, Cayman, thank you for that. New subscriber coming in. Appreciate that. Also, if you didn't just notice, I do have some new animations. So anybody who subscribes over the course of these sessions, you'll see your name pop up at the top. Also, there we go. Thank you, Jim, coming in with the super chat here, the $10 super chat. Appreciate that, Jim. Speaking of super chats, that brings me to another good point that I failed to mention. And as you can see, right above me, there's some new animations for you guys to just help spruce up the streams here. So any donations that come in during these Trade for Charity streams that we're going to be doing over the course of the next month, all of that will be totaled and added into the final total at the end of the event that we have going on here. So just to be clear, none of that comes to me. All of that is going to the final total. So as always, though, here at VectorVest, we don't ever ask for donations. It's all up to you if you want to. Great, thank you. We do appreciate that. And for these, especially, all of that will be going towards the Trading for Charity event that we're doing right now. Also, I do want to mention Bert came in with a $5 super chat before the stream even started. So thank you, Bert, if you're here. I appreciate that. But once again, thank you, Jim. Thank you for that $10 super chat. Love it. Thank you very much. Manny20. So yeah, if you use the link down in the description there, you can get that to pop up right at the top of the screen there. All right, so let's get back into it. Take a look at what's going on here today. So right now we have 3 yellow lights across the board. MTI's pulling back just a little bit on a day-over-day basis, but we're still higher week over week because we've had, once again, quite a substantial run over the course of the last week or two. Primary wave, which is the short-term or simply weekly trend of the market, as we can see it is up since we're higher on a week over week basis. And then the underlying trend is higher because the MTI is above 1. And then for our most conservative investors out there, as you can see, we still remain in that confirmed up situation. So Manny, so there should be a link right down at the bottom there. You should be able to see it right below the chat where you can show your support. It has a little $, a little square box. You should be able to use that, and then it'll pop up at the very top of the screen for us. So yeah. All right. Looking at the advanced declines, because if you followed me before, if you come out to our Thursday streams where we talk about the VectorVest mobile app, you can see we take a look at the advanced declines every single day. And as we can see, the advanced declines is sitting about almost just shy of 2-to-1 decliners to advances here today. So our bias should most likely be favoring the downside. Hey, Jay's coming in with the $25 super chat. Thank you, Jay. I greatly appreciate that. Nabil coming in with the $4.99 super chat. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All of that is going to go a long ways to help a lot of kids in need that, you know, may be having some hard times right now. And so therefore, you know, this is going to hopefully help brighten up their holiday season and make it even better than before. All right, so thank you guys once again. I appreciate all of that support here. All of that is going to be going to a great, phenomenal cause here. All right, yeah, like Cameron said, we have 110 people watching right now and only 20 likes. Smash that like button. Share this with all your friends. Share this with all your family. The more subscribers we get here to the channel, the more money I've gotten VectorVest to donate. So all of that helps us out. You don't have to donate any money. And all you have to do is show your support just to subscribe, and VectorVest will make a donation on your behalf as well. So that's the great thing that you know separates us from other streamers out there. They tend to support and ask for super chats and all that. We don't do that because we have VectorVest support here. So all of that is going directly to the kids. None of that is being kept here. All right, so I appreciate that, Nabil. Welcome. Thank you guys all very, very much. And smash that like button if you haven't done so already. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's start to take a look for some stocks. We know the market's moving lower, so therefore we want to start to take a look at stocks that are moving lower, so that way we have the wind to our sails. And Cameron's coming in with the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate that. And Global's coming in with the $20 super chat for the kids. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Global, for all your support. Thank you guys all for continuing to be here and, you know, helping spread the word about this all. All right. Let's play it for it. Appreciate that, Jay. All right. So Chris, all you got to do is use the icon right below the chat function there. There should be like a little $sign. That will be the super chat function. Appreciate that, Roman, coming in with the $4.99 super chat as well. Thank you guys. Thank you. And once again, all of this, any donations that come in, if you're just now tuning in, any donations that come in throughout the course of these Trade for Charity streams will be going directly to the kids, and none of that will be here. All right. So getting back into it, let's try to find some stocks here today. One of the searches that we have here, VectorVest has hundreds of different searches that are pre-built automatically for you. Well, one of the ones that I tend to focus on is one here in the price volume folder. And anybody who's in the Jockey Club probably knows where I'm going with this. Taking a look at the daily boomers. So we have the daily boomers for the upside and also the daily boomers for the downside. This is something that is already here for you. You don't have to worry about building it on your own, and it can greatly help you out as well to find stocks to trade throughout the day. So with the market moving lower, maybe we'll hold off on buying some swing trades here today. We'll probably focus some on more of the day trading aspect of things. But, if conditions improve, as always, we could take a potential swing trade. All right. So with that, let's go ahead, take a look at the downside, see what comes up, see if any stocks show up here. And we've got quite a lot of them. All right. So let's go ahead, graph these and take a look. And what we're looking for is stocks that are continuing to move lower and giving some clear signs of weakness here. So this one looking good, moving sideways right now. Volume seems to be lightening up. So I'll probably go ahead and just simply move on to the next one. CMPS is looking pretty strong. The only thing I don't like about this, and you'll hear me talk about these quite a lot, is divergences. So with this one, we have, let me go ahead and use the freehand line. We have price moving lower, but look at the DPO. For anybody not familiar with it, the DPO is the detrended price oscillator, and it's a technical indicator that identifies momentum or short-term direction. So what you see here is DPO steadily rising, even though price is steadily falling, showing that as price is still moving lower, we are seeing more momentum start to dissipate from the downside and start to head to the upside. So we want to be careful with this one. And just now we got Rob P coming in with the $5 super chat, and then Hoa, hopefully I pronounced that properly, coming in with the $9.99 super chat as well. What do you think of UPST before earnings? Great question. We'll take a look at that in just a second for you. So if you guys have stocks you want to take a look at, feel free to throw them out in the chat. I'd be glad to take a look at them as well. All right, so CMPS, I don't really like what we're seeing quite yet with that setup there. Let's continue to move on. This one just flatlined. Really looking for something that's continuing to move, has some decent volume. And HAE, only thing is, once again, price hitting a new low, not confirmed by the momentum indicator or the DPO. NVTA, same situation. So we're noticing this with a lot of the stocks. This can give us a little bit of insight on, what may be coming going forward here today. So when we're seeing a lot of these stocks having these bullish divergences, that suggests that the down pressure that we're noticing right now may be starting to dissipate. We may be starting to see a reversal coming in here. So we'll continue to finish going through these real quick. And then if we don't really see anything we're too interested in, we'll take a look at some bullish positions instead of bearish positions. Okay, so Roger, this one I'm looking at right now is something that I created a while ago. This one is a customized one I built specifically for downside, but it's just taking the regular, so I don't really see anything here. Let's get out of here. It's taking the regular daily boomers and just reversing things, so that way you can see, or it's looking for the ones that are going down rather than up. And Shalesh coming in with the 449 pound super chat. Thank you for that. Appreciate that very, very much. All right, so getting back to Hoa real quick, he did have a question about UPST. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. UPST, going to be looking at the longer term trend. So first and foremost, you've had a substantial run since over the last 3 months even. It's gone from about 150 over doubled to about 323 right now. So I don't know, this wasn't my line drawn here, so most likely somebody else was looking at that. But the way I read this right now is we have a support resistance zone right around 337. Here it was resistance. We broke through that to that previous high of around 400, started pulling back, consolidating right around that point. As you can see, we broke down below it, went back higher, broke down again for the second time, tried to get back above it yesterday, failed to do that, starting to move lower. So based off of what we see in the chart, it does show some weakness based off the candlesticks and based off price action. But looking here at the stochastics, we can see that it is in oversold territory. Keep in mind though, whenever we see a stock that's in oversold territory, we got to remember that it can stay in oversold territory for quite some time. Hey, Chris coming in with the 1605 super chat. Thank you very much, Chris, for that. Thank you for all your support. Glad you could be here today. So with that, we do see, yes, it's oversold, but we know that it can stay in oversold territory for a while. So until we see signs that it's hit oversold territory and starting to come out of that, we may want to be cautious for the time being. Looking at DPO, or the momentum indicator, we can see it is steadily moving lower. We had the bearish divergence right here as price was moving higher. We had the DPO moving lower, giving us some cause for concern, starting to come true right now as we speak. And until we see the DPO start to break this downtrend, we may want to be careful if we're trying to jump on board just for an earnings play alone. So I will throw that out there. But one thing to keep in mind, hey, Tesla's coming in as a new subscriber. Thank you, Tesla. Thank you for tuning in here today. One thing to keep in mind with UPST, with an earnings play, it's basically like flipping a coin. If you have some good gains in it, if you've been long in it for quite some time, tightening up stops or making sure taking some defensive action just in case is not a bad idea. But for right now, if you're just playing it based off of earnings, I'd be cautious with it. If we take a look at the EPS indicator, this is going to be looking a little bit better on a 1-year time frame. That doesn't look too shabby. The company, when you see earnings per share steadily rising from the bottom left to the upper right, that shows that not only is the company making money, but they're expected to continue to make money at least 12 months down the road. So that is a positive sign. If you're looking for it as a longer term play, that may be a great opportunity to do so. Boston's coming in asking Tesla, just profit taking? I think with Tesla, we can take a look at it here in a second, but yeah, we'll talk about Tesla here in a moment though. But looking at UPST, you have a nice steady rise in price from bottom left to upper right. Earnings per share has been steadily rising as well. This stock has gone, where's that low at? Let's see. Oh, I got to turn off the freehand line. There we go. Delete that. So $22 a year ago, trading at $324 now. So it's gone up 10 times. It's a 10x stock. That's a phenomenal run. With the rise in earnings, we can definitely see why that, the potential there. Let's go take a look real fast at the stock analysis report. UPST, pulling this up. So UPST engages in the provision of cloud-based artificial AI lending platform, aggregates consumer demand for loans and connects it to the company's network of artificial intelligence-enabled banking partners. So, interesting. Basically, what it looks like is they take, they have an AI, a cloud-based system that connects loans from consumers to banks and does all that for them. So I see a lot of upside potential. I see why they're making money, especially as more things start to go more digital, more towards, being ran by computers. So yeah, that definitely sounds like a solid business in itself. I will point this out. The stock is currently overvalued. Its value's at $37.07 currently. Price, as we just saw, is trading around $324. So clearly well overvalued. But as we know, overvalued is more of a warning sign rather than a make or break decision point. Looking at the RV, or the long-term potential of the stock, it has an RV rating of 0.88, which is poor. It tells us it has poor long-term potential over the next 1 to 3 years. Looking at the safety factor of 0.96 tells us there is more risk associated with this stock. So you got to be careful with that as well. This is with an RV and an RS below 1. That definitely makes this more of a speculative play. Looking at the timing at 1.34, even after the pullback, tells us it's still in a short-term uptrend, but that short-term uptrend is definitely dissipating a little bit. And then overall, VST rating of 1.1 makes the stock favorable. All right, so with that, how it's overvalued. So whenever we look at the value, actually, let's go back, pull that up. The value is taking into account UPST, a few different factors, such as inflation rates. Give me one moment. There we go. Let's go back to value. There we go. So value is looking at things, forecasted earnings per share, forecasted earnings growth rate, profitability, interest, and inflation rates. A few other factors. There's definitely some pieces in the green book inside of the VectorVest software that you can download that can help you understand this a little bit more. It gives some examples of how we come up with value. But value is based as of right now. It's not a future projected value. That's something that a lot of people tend to miss or to forget that aspect of things. Is the value is not a projected value. It's at this current time based off of the current inflation rates, interest rates, its earnings, forecasted earnings, all of that. What is this stock currently worth right now? So therefore, when you compare the price of the stock now to what its value is, you can get an idea of whether the stock is overvalued or undervalued, or whether or not you're getting a bargain or you're paying a premium to own that stock right now. So right now we're clearly paying a premium to own that stock. And there's a lot of stocks out there that are, grossly overvalued that people are willing to pay that premium for still though. So keep that in mind. Value is more of a cautionary sign rather than, a make or break decision there. All right, so let's go over Tesla. I know a lot of people are interested in Tesla. So TSLA, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's go 6 months. Oh, there we go. All right, so Tesla, pulling back clearly here today. Down, where is it? Oh, I don't have it on here. Let's go ahead and add that real quick. Price volume, and then we'll add the percentage price change. So down about 8.38% so far. Got a new subscriber. Thank you for that. Percent price change. So it's down about 8.33% so far. Could be interesting on what's causing this. Could be some profit taking. If you've been following Tesla, you know that over the weekend, Elon Musk posted something on Twitter, a poll asking people whether or not he should sell 10% of his stake to cover some taxes on the unrealized gain tax, to bring attention to that whole debate right now, the billionaires tax, if you want to call it that. But if you look at what was going on even prior to that poll being released, there's already been family members and board members that have been dumping some of their shares. So it's more of a publicity stunt, but it definitely rattles a lot of investors, and it brings attention to the fact that, if you're going to do this billionaires tax on unrealized gains, they're going to, most big CEOs take a cut of, or most CEOs have most of their wealth wrapped up into shares into companies' assets rather than their own personal wealth. And so if you make them sell or make them cover these gains or make them cover these unrealized gains, they're going to sell their stocks, and that's going to hurt the markets. That's definitely going to bring them lower, and you're going to see big sell-offs because there's going to be a lot of shares of a lot of the big companies out there being dumped into the market, which could definitely hurt the overall market and hurt, the Dow, the NASDAQ, a lot of different aspects of what this could actually do for the overall economy. Hey there, Raphael. How do we deal with questionable earnings for Palantir? We can definitely take a look at that. I haven't read it too much. I haven't read or been following Palantir too much, but we can definitely take a look into that here today. But yeah, so Tesla, I think a lot of people are just worried that we're going to see Elon Musk dump about $20 billion worth of his stock back into the open market, and that could definitely hurt the price. People like Tesla though. Tesla's been on a phenomenal run. As I've been stating though, we've seen a parabolic rise over the course of the last week or two, and those rises typically aren't sustainable. So you want to be careful when you're looking at something like that, especially when you start to notice a doji here after a big run. That is typically seen as a reversal signal, a weak reversal, but a reversal signal nonetheless. So when you get this red down day the next day, that gives you confirmation that the reversal is starting to take hold. And then all of a sudden you're starting to see this stock selling off like we're noticing now. But even with this pullback here today, we're still in overbought territory. We're just barely kissing that 80 level, which is typically shown, or which typically shows the oversold boundary. And when we come below that, that's when you start to see that downside risk outweighs upside potential at that point. Wait for a pullback if you're already into it. You have good gains. Different ideas that you can do is utilize options to help protect some of those profits if you're worried about the pullback. Tighten up your stops. A few different things. If you're not already in Tesla and you've been waiting for an opportunity, wait to see the stochastics get to that oversold territory. Wait to see a retest of some major support resistance zone. Wait to see, a reset essentially from a technical standpoint. And that could help you get in without with minimizing your risk and maximizing your reward potential in that trade. All right, so let's go see. We had Palantir, PLTR. Let's go ahead and take a look at Palantir. Palantir, gap down, been steadily moving sideways, take off earnings for the 1 day. Right now, I definitely see, more of that bullish divergence. Price is moving lower, but DPO has been steadily rising, showing that momentum to the downside has been dissipating, and we could see a reversal coming in the very near future. What I want to see, though, is volume starting to increase and a pickup in price. I'd like to see it break above these highs here. You have a resistance zone around 24.58. You've hit it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Need to see it break above that on some decent volume, and that would give me the opportunity to jump on board here today. Looking at the end of day, let's go 6 months. I mean, it's a volatile one. We know that it's, a big Wall Street bets play, so of course you're going to expect to see some volatility on this one. Getting my seat adjusted there. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, you have higher highs up until just recently. You have higher lows for the time being. As we state time and time again, higher highs leads to higher lows. Lower highs tends to lead to lower lows. So with that being said, we have a potential lower high here. If it breaks past this low point, let's see where that is. Let me just change my lines real quick. If we break past this low here of 23.11, that would show that, we're breaking to a lower low. That lower high is leading to the lower low, and that would be a cause for concern. How do you set resistance and support lines in the chart? So you can either, hey, Hoa coming in with another $9.99 super chat. Amazing analysis of VectorVest tool. Thank you, Hoa. Thank you. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. If I'm not, please correct me. I apologize, but I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But thank you once again for the $9.99 super chat there. All right, so what we're getting back into Palantir though. Answering the question from Keaton. How do you add support resistance? So you can either add on the freehand lines and add them on yourself, put lines wherever you think a good support resistance zone is. Or if you want to take the easy way out, you can go to add parameters over here on the right, come down to technical analysis over here, and then choose support resistance and simply let VectorVest do the work for you. Here's that line right around, let me find it here. Take off the horizontal line. Oh, there we go. So 22.76, that's that low coming in here, touched once here, but that's about that same point that I was just talking about earlier. After I've been looking at charts for about 30 years, I kind of feel comfortable drawing them myself. But if you're new to charting or new to investing in general, VectorVest will automatically draw those support resistance lines for you. And if you don't want to do your own lines like I'm doing on some of these, but you are more familiar with support resistance, if you right click on them, you can go to the change the settings and you can customize them any which way you want to fit your liking. If you want to make them more aggressive or if you want to make them more conservative, clearly you can do that with the size of the reversals, the size of the support resistance zone, number of touches required, all of that here. So I'm just going to use the default default settings for right now. But as we talked about earlier, we had a 2750 roughly resistance zone. We broke above it to that new high back on the 17th of September. Been pulling back. We saw that we got close, well within that zone of that 2750 and started pulling back as of today. So right now, with the way stochastics is setting up, with the way DPO is setting up, we could see a retest of 2276 before we see a bounce and retesting that 2750 level. Hey, Mark, no worries there. I'm glad you're here today. Thank you for tuning in. Repeat everything set up until now, please. Unfortunately, I don't have all the time to do that, but as a positive though, I will say not only today, but also tomorrow starting at 11:30, we'll have another Trading for Charity event, and we'll do it every Tuesday and Wednesday up until the week of December 10th. That'll be our last week. So we have a month of these Tuesday, Wednesday streams at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. So if you're late here today, I understand. That's fine. No worries. Glad you can make it. But we'll be here at 11:30 starting up tomorrow as well. So there's always that opportunity for you. Hey, Enderpaul coming in with the 2246 super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Continue to show some love, everybody. And also, if you guys see somebody sending in a super chat, make sure to smash that like button, send some hearts in the chat for everybody donating here. Once again, any donations that come in are directly going to the final tally or total at the end of this event to purchase even more items for less fortunate kids so we can donate them to help make this season, this holiday season, brighter for kids that may not be having the best of time right now. Also, tell you about the donation process. So good question, Mark. I will go over that. Down below down below the chat, there's a little icon, has a dollar symbol on it. If you click on that, you can donate directly through there, and all of that will pop up on the screen here. And all of the super chats that come in throughout the Trading for Charity event will be going towards the final tally. Nothing will be going to us or me specifically. So just want to make sure we're clear on that. Also, I will never ask anybody to ever donate, because if you just subscribe to the channel, if you're not already subscribed and you subscribe, VectorVest will automatically make a donation on your behalf. So the more people we get subscribed to the channel, the more money VectorVest has to donate. Help me make them spend some extra money on that one, folks. So tell all your friends, family, grandparents, kids, doesn't matter. Tell them all to come hang out. Make sure they subscribe to the channel if they want to learn not only how to become financially independent through the use of the stock market, but also how to... Whoa! Mark's coming in with $100 super chat. Man, thank you, Mark. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Greatly appreciated. Starting the first ever Trading for Charity event off in an amazing way, more so than I've ever could have considered we would have had to start to it. So thank you, Mark, for that. I'm truly appreciative, and I'm sure the kids are also going to be appreciative as well. All right. But yeah, so the more people that subscribe not only can learn how to become financially independent through the use of the stock market, but they can also, help better the lives of some kids that may be having a rough season this holiday season. So thank you all. Thank you. I do appreciate every single one of you guys. All right, everybody though, show Mark some love for that $100 super chat. That is, whoo. I never thought I'd ever see that. So Mark, I greatly appreciate that. And thank you very much. All right, let's get back into it. So Palantir, we had the pullback. Right now, based off what we see, based off stochastics, based off the volume, big spike in volume relative to what it's been trading around, today is a day you want to pay attention to. With the big red candle, the volume speaks volumes. And right now, it's not looking positive. So based off of what we see in the chart, I would expect to see it retest as 2276. And if it can hold that support floor there, then bounce up and get to that level of 2750. But I definitely expect to see it test this lower part before we get to the 2750 level there. All right. Whew, what a great start to the day. All right, let's go ahead and start to try to look for some trades. For anybody who's been with us for a while, you guys probably know me from the Jockey Club. You guys know I absolutely love to day trade. Let's see if we can find some day trade candidates to jump on board with here today. add or make some gains here. And that's the great thing about these sessions or these streams. You know, I'll be looking for some trades to jump into. If you guys want to jump on board, or you guys want to take some trades, or you guys see something you like, feel free to. It's not financial advice. I'm not telling you to do that. This is more just for your entertainment, so you can see and learn some techniques that I tend to prefer to try to help your own trading. But if you want to, feel free. If you don't, by all means, sit back, relax, continue to enjoy the show here. All right, so let's go ahead and graph all these, see if we can find a trading candidate to look at. PETZ, I like what we're seeing. You do have resistance right here at 883. I would like to see it break that point on stronger volume to get an idea that, you know, the uptrend is starting to pick back up. Right now with it, you have left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder. It's kind of a stretch, but you could make the case for a head and shoulders potentially forming on that. So you need to either see it break that shoulder line or the neckline down here. Going in, taking a look at NEWR. Let me get support resistance off of here. So NEWR is relatively flat. Also, 123 bucks a share. Gonna be hard to really get a lot of shares to really trade off of that. Roblox. So Roblox is one. You had a nice strong push pre-market. It's continuing to rock and roll here. I like what we're seeing, but unfortunately as a day trade, not really what we're looking for. It's flat. You know, yes, it gapped up. If you weren't in before the gap up here today, there's really not a lot of profit to be squeezed out of this one. Now this is a stock that I like to see. Huge volume coming in ever since about that 10:30 time frame. Huge push here, huge push here. Now, I will say I do see some potential weakness on this one. You look at the high candle right here. I'll zoom in. You have a tall upper wick closing at the low. That shows, and if you look at volume, volume is strong, or is about as strong as it gets relative to what it's been trading at. That shows a lot of selling pressure coming in when it hit that new high. So this gives you insight into investor sentiment or investor mindset. Honestly, I'm going to keep an eye on this one. I may take it as a short trade rather than a long trade. You know, just because the setup, it's gone on a crazy run. It could have a pullback. That pullback, I'd be looking to for profit potential right around $14.55, so about $1 a share roughly. Not a bad opportunity. Now, my line in the sand for the upside would be 551 or 1551. If it breaks that, that would show that the uptrend is still resuming. It's not done quite yet. And that would be the time to, you know, cut our loss quickly. So that way we get out, reset, find a different trade, find a different setup. Let's see. Are you going? Mark's talking about Tampa. Yes, Tampa is going to be an awesome event. Also, for anybody here right now, I forgot to mention this earlier. Every single stream that we have here over the course of the next month, we will be doing a live giveaway. We'll be giving access or free access to our Tampa 2-day event coming up at the beginning of the year. It's our largest event of the year that we do in every single January. And so to win, you have to be here. And I have Joey hopefully in the background. I think he's in the background. But Joey can hopefully let me know when all that's set up and what you guys need to do. But we will be giving away one free course for the Tampa 2-day every single stream for the course over the next month. So wanted to throw that out. Thanks for making that comment there, Mark, because that reminded me to point that out there. So hopefully you guys are excited about that. And especially if you're not even a VectorVest subscriber, this gives you a great opportunity to learn about the markets, learn how to use the VectorVest software, and learn how to enhance your own performance and your portfolios. So this is a great opportunity for you to gain access to, you know, one of the best courses we do, in my opinion, every year. The Tampa 2-day, you're going to find out a lot of information to help improve your investing. All right, so going back to AGC, let's go ahead, bring that over, bring this to the graphs, pull it up here, AGC. All right, let's zoom in. Zoom into the big run. Keeping an eye on volume, because this is going to be what tells us a lot about the trade. You're getting close to breaking through. I'm keeping an eye on volume. Let me go ahead, get the trade now pulled up. Robo Trader, Ally. Let me pull that over so we can see the trade. Go ahead, trading for charity. All right, so I like what we're seeing on that one. Breaking through resistance. Keeping an eye on it because one bar does not make a trend. We want to see not only that it breaks through, but that it can hold above that resistance level. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on right now. And it looks like it's doing so. Let's keep an eye on it. Paying attention because right now that doesn't look too promising. It may pull back. We see this a lot, especially in the Jockey Club. Whenever you're doing a lot of live trading, we do see that, you break through and then you come back and retest that support. Doesn't happen all the time, but it definitely happens the vast majority of the time. So I will be patient, wait for the trade setup, come to me instead of trying to chase it. If you try to chase a trade, you're trading on emotion. And that's what we do here at VectorVest is we try to help you reduce that emotional trading aspect and focus on more of a systematic approach. So let's be patient, wait for this one, see if we can get a good setup here today. Also, as a side note, trading in the middle of the day can be harder than trading at the very open or the very end of the trading day. So I will throw that out. There. How do you analyze volume? Do you compare it with the highest and lowest? So, Nabil, the best way to describe how to analyze volume. Volume is relative. And what you're looking for is you're looking for big increases in volume, whether they be bearish or bullish, relative to what it's been trading at over the last few minutes or so, or a few days if you're looking at a daily chart. So when we look at the volume, we can see a huge spike in volume as of last minute to that new high. So whenever you look at the volume, you look for these big spikes, and then you look at the candle to see if it correlates or to see what the candle is showing. But, during these periods, anything that happens on these low volume minutes is pretty much noise. Not a whole lot is going on. The reason why you want to look for the strong volume or the big volume is because the big volume is what indicates the major investment or investor sentiment. It gives you a mindset or an insight into the mindset of other traders out there that are also watching it. When you see big volume coming in, that shows that, the overall crowd, if you want to consider that, is going one way or the other way. So that's why we look at it here. So looking at it, you have strong volume. You see the pullback or the sell-off right afterwards, but look at the volume. Not a whole lot there. So that tells us the bulls are still in control currently. We haven't seen any change in the overall sentiment. So I'm keeping an eye on it. Gonna go ahead, get my trade ticket pulled up. This is the Trade Now trade ticket that gives us that we can send our trades directly to the broker. Gonna go ahead, pull that over. Keeping an eye on it. All right, so breaking out, looking at stochastics, looking at DPO. Before I pull the trigger, I want to make sure I have the right setup though. Preview the order. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, I don't like to chase trades. Right now, it's been nonstop moving higher, almost in a parabolic run. I liked it here when it was breaking through that resistance level. I'm not really a fan of it when it's trading at almost $1 higher than when I was first looking at getting in. DPO looks good. Stochastics is looking good. But you've had a substantial run here. I mean, that's almost $1 a share in a matter of 4 or 5 minutes. So I'm being a little cautious. I'm going to be a little bit more cautious right now on my entry on this one. Was looking forward to Day Trading Tuesday. Yeah, Mark, I apologize. I had to do some personal things before today's stream. So I will be back next Tuesday though. Day Trading Tuesday and the Jockey Club will be on next Tuesday. All right. Got to be patient with this one. From the volume you can sense from market players. Exactly. That's what we're really looking for on when we look at the volume. You can get an idea on the psychology behind the trade, or the mindset of other traders also watching the trade. So watching it here, waiting for it to come back down a little bit before I take an entry. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that for the time being. Let's go back to a 1 day, zoom in. As you can see, has a big run, pulls back a little bit, sets up for another big run. So we've had a big run, had a second leg up, waiting to see what happens waiting to see how it continues to move. What time? So Joey, let's, you guys, whoops. Let's shoot for 12:30. So 12:30, everybody who's here will be able to enter into the giveaway that we have for today. So letting everybody know, the giveaway will start at 12:30, or however you guys do that. I don't typically do the giveaways, so Joey is in the background. He knows them better than I do. Joey, if you want to send out the best, or the word that everybody has to use, and if I don't know if we want to do it from 12:15 to 12:30 and then announce the winner at 12:30, or if we want to do it or starting at 12:30 and go till, let's say, 12:45. Either or is fine with me, but let's let me know and I can make sure I announce that to everybody. All right, give me 1 second there. I'm gonna see. Move the taskbar. Can't move the taskbar right now. All right, let's go back into here. Appreciate that, Mark. The fact that there's not more than 5 of us, that makes me happy to know I made it in the top 5 list. All right. Let's go ahead, re-highlight some of these, or take a look at the new batch, see if there's any changes. Zooming in a little bit. So NEWR, we don't really like what we're seeing with that one. It's pretty flat overall. PETZ still hasn't met that breakout that we're looking for. AGC's pulling back a little bit right now. All right. Volume was drying up, starting to pick up a little bit. Tells me to keep an eye on it here. 512, we can get that breakout. That could be a decent run. So KPLT, we'll keep that on our list. LAZR, nope. Let's go find some more here. FIVN, whew, this is just a nice steady mover here. ADT, potentially getting ready for a breakout. Let's find some more. BQ. I do kind of like the BQ. Volume is really light, so it's going to be a volatile trade. Tampa is the keyword. So there you guys go. Tampa is the keyword. Go ahead and start typing in Tampa. If you type it in more than once, you'll automatically be disqualified. But type in Tampa in the chat and we'll announce the giveaway here at 12:30, and we'll see who our first winner is for the Tampa 2-day event. Our first ever winner for the Trading for Charity event here. All right, who's gonna be the lucky winner here today? Let's see. All right, LIDR, Yala, Trex. Not really liking the setup on the vast majority, but then again, this is the middle of the day. This is typically the harder time to trade because volume tends to lighten up a little bit because people go out to lunch, that type of situation. Man, Nabil coming in with the $49.99 super chat. Thank you, Nabil. Greatly appreciate that. Awesome. Everybody, show Nabil some love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so BQ we'll put on our radar. VUZI will put on our radar as well. ADT will put on our radar. And what was the other one? KPLT. So KPLT, ADT, and VUZI. So KPLT, ADT, BQ. Yeah, show everybody some love for everybody who's helped donate, and also for all the new people that have been subscribing here today. Show them some love too, because that helps continue the cause of what we're trying to do here. So Thank you all. Thank you everyone for all the support. All right, so KPLT, I like what we're seeing with this one. You have a level of resistance right here around 512 or 513. I'd like to see a breakout. You had weaker volume lightening up in this sideways action. Volume definitely started picking up just a few minutes ago, 12:12. So that was about 6 minutes ago. I need to see that strong volume continue, and I want to see it break above that resistance level there. Let me go ahead, remove this. There we go. Give me 1 second here. There we go. That looks a little bit better. All right, so KPLT we're keeping an eye on. VUZI, I like this one because we had strong volume coming in over the last minute. However, maybe some weakness coming in. You held this support floor at 1363. Had a big run. You bounced once, twice, 3 times. Broke on the 4th. Didn't stay there very long. Starting to move higher. This is exactly what we want to see. We want to see that support floor holding. The more times it touches on a support floor, the stronger that support becomes. So what we're looking for is either a break past that last minute's high or a retest and buying it as it retests its support and getting the bounce from there. Keep an eye on it though. We got to be patient. Wait for the trade to come to us. ADT is looking good. I like what we're seeing because you're breaking out to a new high. You had, horizontal line. You had resistance at the high of the day at 1035. I want to see it break, and I want to see that there's some strong buying volume, which we're seeing right now, coming into that breakout. So if it closes above that 1035 level, I'll load up a portion of that. BQ. Hey, Assad coming in. Thank you. Thank you for the new subscriber there, Assad. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself here today. Thank you for all your support. So for any Jockey Club members in here, I'm going to do this once and one time only. You have, let's zoom that up a little bit. On an intraday look, you have a wicked wedge, or you have consolidation right now. Wait for the breakout of consolidation. That would be the key. Not only do you want to see the breakout, you want to see follow through that next minute, and you want to see volume backing that move up as well. Imagining happy kids, they deserve a good holiday. Thank you. Thank you, Nabil. And as I mentioned earlier, we will video all of that. We'll have that all recorded, and that content will be coming out to our YouTube channel. So make sure, if you already are subscribed, turn on that notification bell so you get notified when that gets released there. All right, so BQ, watching that, keeping an eye on it. Let's go take a look at some other ones. ADT closing with strong volume. Let's zoom in a little. Delete that. Let's zoom in a little bit here. ADT holding that support. Let's go ahead, get the trade ticket ready. And there we go. It's holding that. It retested that support there. I've got the order going through. All right, so we go into the Robo Trader now. This is a tool that allows you to manage your portfolio, whether you have an Ally, Interactive Brokers, or TradeStation account. You can link it directly to VectorVest, and it'll automatically set up your trades for you. So I'm waiting for that order to be received. There we go. Looks like it is filled, and there's our trade right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to detach this and keep it on the side menu for the time being, so that way I can trade, I can get in and out if I need to. And just keeping an eye on it. If it breaks this support, see, this is why I like support resistance. I like buying on a breakout, because if it closes below that resistance level or that support floor, and then gets followed through on the next minute, that will be the clear sign. Okay, it's time to take our profit, or it's time to close the position, minimize any loss. And the closer we can get to that support floor, the less loss potential there is. So that minimizes the risk aspect to our trade. And that's what we're keeping an eye on right now. So you saw it break down below, but you got a nice little uptick. Saw some buying coming in off of those lows. Let's see if it can break back above that 1035 level. keeping an eye on it right now. So even at this current stage, just getting the trade ticket over here, only down about 1/3%. So very, very minimal risk. But if it continues to move higher, that gives us a great entry opportunity, breaking out to a new high. Because once a stock breaks into a new high, you can tend to see a lot of strong volume coming in, which moves the stock even higher from that point. So that's what we're going to be looking out for. Also, as a side note, the 3 and the 8 exponential moving average are still bullish as well, because the 3 or that short-term moving average is greater than the red line or that 8-day or 8-period moving average. And that shows short-term momentum in favor of that upside here. There we go. So that next minute, it was slow, and we are seeing volume weakening a little bit as well, but there's a lot of strong buying coming here to push us to that new high. The pullback that we've seen has been on relatively lighter volume relative to what it's been trading at. So that's what we're waiting for. Let's see it break past to that new high, gives us a little bit of cushion there, and that's exactly what we want to see. So that high is at 1038. Basically, we'll call it 1039. Right now, at 1038, our average price was 1037. So at 1037, we're break even. 1038, we are slightly in the green and on our way to some nice, clean gains here in the market. All right. Keeping it on it. So as I talk about, I will state this. I'm not trying to make this a jockey club session, but I will state this for anybody tuning in that is not familiar with us, or for people that are out there watching that are, wanting to improve their investing or improve their day trading, especially for right now. I will say this every single time. Once you get into a trade, that is where your primary focus needs to be. You shouldn't take your eyes off and go look at 5 million different things afterwards or once you actually enter the trade, because this is where your capital is. And so this is where you want to keep your focus. When you start to look at different stocks or start to drift off going in a different way or another direction, that's when you miss potential clues that you can find in the charts. So we'll keep an eye on the chart until we close out of the position. Then we'll go start to look at other opportunities there. Let's see. Let me make sure I didn't miss any other comments so far. Also, if you're just tuning in for the first time, if you have stocks that you want to take a look at, don't hesitate to put them into the comments or into the chat there, and I'd be glad to analyze those stocks in a few moments as well. All right, so this one, we're seeing a little bit of capitulation here. Sideways move. We broke down below that support floor once again at 1035. That's putting us down about 1/3%, so very minimal risk right now. But if we look at volume is conviction. Volume is extremely light, especially considering the buying volume we've seen coming in. Now, keeping an eye on the volume, we want to see it bounce back up, because right now the volume doesn't really indicate that the bears are gaining a grasp or gaining the lead. Now, if it closes 2 candles, one breakdown, and then one below that, then I will just simply close out of it, minimize my loss, not even down 1%. So, hey, this is all about risk to reward and managing that risk to reward factor. Not every trade is going to be a crazy 20, 40, 50% winner. And so it closed down below. Let's go ahead, get that trade up, minimize anything coming in. And we'll set, there we go. Let's see, where's it at? 1026. Let's go. 1028. It's holding that 1026 level. See if it bounces on the intraday volatility. 1026. All right. All right, get in the trade, ticket ready. Go ahead, send it through. All right, there we go. Sell order coming through, down about 1%. Hey, that's fine. 1% on 1/5 of a position size of the portfolio. Not bad. Very, very minimal loss there. And that's what it's all about. like I said before, not every trade is going to be a winning trade. Sometimes it's about managing that risk and minimizing that loss sooner rather than later, rather than sticking around and waiting for it to, turn into a potential mess for your portfolio. So keep that in mind as well as we go through some of this. All right. I'm just waiting to see. Waiting for the confirmation on it so far. Pull that over. Is it going to break? Is it going to... Okay, there we go. All right, so should be getting that order coming through. Let me refresh it. I'm wondering which screen is going to pop up on. Keeping an eye on it. Let's go. All right, so out at 10:26. There we go. That's fine. Let's go ahead, pull up the report. Trade history. So I'll show every single trade I do. I'll show it. 1% on the trade. I'll take that. You know what? I can lose 1%. That's fine. Because I know if one big winner is going to clearly get us back well ahead of that 1% there. So let's go ahead and move on. Where are the actual orders, executions? Only ADT shown on the screen. So Ram, what I'm using is the Robo Trader, which is a automated trading tool inside of the VectorVest system that you can trade directly. Right now I'm hooked up to an Ally trading account. So all my trades will be going through Ally as the broker, but I can track and trade directly through the VectorVest software. All right, so let's go ahead, find another one. BQ, gonna pass on that one. At $2, gonna have a hard time shorting it. So therefore, let's go back, see what we have. Hey, and D Truly Blessed has won the giveaway. So D Truly Blessed, if you're here, let me know in the chat. Let me know that you're here right now to claim that winning. And then I believe you have to email Joey, if you're in the background, what's the email? connect@vectorvest.com, I think. Let's see. Oh, that's Mark, is it? Let's see. Connect@vectorvest.com. So yeah, Truly Blessed. If you're here, let me know. Show yourself in the comments area. Say hi. Let me know that you're here. And email us at connect@vectorvest.com. We'll give it, about another 10 seconds or so. And if we don't have a response by that point, let me close out of that. If we don't have a response by that point, we'll find the next winner here. So while we're doing that, let's go ahead, take a look, see what else we have coming up. See if anything has changed. PETZ. So I'm not seeing any confirmation of that. Joey, do we have a second winner here? Or do we have a backup here? Oh man, KPLT. That was another one that we had. An Ion. Going back to the graphs. Let's go find it. Where was it? KPLT, I think, was the beginning one. All right, KPLT had a decent run there. I like what we're seeing with that one. Let's go ahead, rerun it, see if there's any new stocks coming in. All right, not seeing any new stocks coming in this list. So let's go take a look at another opportunity here. Under searches, price, volume, another favorite of mine is Teeny Boppers. May have seen it highlighted over in the interview with Dr. Delito, our founder here at VectorVest. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these. One day, all right, looking for a decent volume though, because some of these are lower dollar price or lower price stocks. We want to see the volume aspect of things. That's going to be one of the kickers. Let's see, not finding a whole. Hive. Hive is getting destroyed right now. But one thing I will say, Don't know what happened here. Was there something going on? Let's go ahead, take a look at the news. Hive down 7% so far. Let's go all. Trading resumption. Temporary suspension halt. Public listed, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's just saying it's starting to trade again. So I truly blessed. Last call. There we go. Last call. If you're here, let us know. Make yourself known in the comments, or make yourself known in the chat there. Announces, whoa, bot deal, private placement financing to expand. Let's go ahead and take a look at this article. Not for distribution, blah, blah. Is pleased to announce that it has entered into an agreement with Stifel GMP as lead underwriter and sole book runner to include a syndicate of underwriters, special warranty, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the company will grant underwriter an option to increase the size of the offering. All right, so you have some big news coming out. When was that? Let's go. KPLT broke resistance. We'll go take a look at that in here in a second. So this came out November 9th. So this was just a few moments ago. All right, getting out of there. One thing I will say with this, you definitely have that bullish divergence that I like seeing. It's been falling like a rock. I think we can all agree with that. But look at the DPO. DPO is starting to pick back up. So you may have a retracement trade coming in here. So there we go. Campbell coming in. The next up. Campbell, if you are here, let us know down the chat that you are here. And we can make sure we get that, get your winning to you. So looking at Hive, keep in mind, I want to see a break right here. Let's go ahead, take a look, keep an eye on it. That would be a reversal trade. Moving on. I want to find a new opportunity here for us. All right. And so also for anybody that's going to be here throughout the course of these sessions, I will not be using the Derby. The Derby is something we use in our jockey club. It's our day trading room we do every day, Monday through Friday. If you're interested, you can always give our support a call, but I will not be using the Derby anytime throughout these streams here. So just wanted to throw that out in advance for right now. All right. Let's see. Not finding anything with that one. Let's go ahead, jump into the graphs. So KPLT, yeah, KPLT broke that resistance a little late to the party at this point. ADT, staying away from those. Let's go into the viewers. Let's go into stock viewer. Take a look at some of the highest rated VST stocks here today. Graph all. All right, so Mara, not really looking that great right now. ARCB. Actually, let's zoom out on these because these are going to be typically more of the swing trade style stock. All right, so FANG. This has been a hot stock for quite some time. What do we have here, though? We have a reversal shown here with the high yesterday, pulling back. We have a lower high of stochastics. We have a lower trending DPO, setting us up for a bearish divergence. It's hard to take a bearish position against oil stocks, but that setup looks pretty good here. And if I did get into this, this would be a swing trade, not a day trade here. So I just want to point that out. No one wants to claim the prize apparently. So Campbell, if you're here, let us know in the comments, or let us know in the chat so we can make sure we get you all hooked up. If not, when Joey finishes counting down, we'll move on to the next one. Eventually, somebody is going to win. We will have a winner every single trading for charity event. I will be sure. I will promise you that. All right. MTDR. Maybe. MTDR actually. So petroleum in general, seeing a lot of bearish divergences setting up with the charts, giving me a little cause for concern. There we go. Hey. Tarsum is here. I see them messaging. I will right before that. So Tarsum, congratulations. You are the first winner of the Trading for Charity event. Email us at connect@vectorvest.com and we will make sure we get you that prize as soon as possible here for you. Hey, I already saw him typing in, so they should be here. There we go. He's here. Awesome. So yes, email connect@vectorvest.com and we can get you all set up there with that. Thank you for hanging out with us today and thank you for tuning in. Congratulations. All right, so this one maybe there's a lot of bearish swing trades showing for right now. You know, as we mentioned earlier, we look at the homepage, going back to it. We're seeing a lot of red in the overall market. Today may not be a bad day to look at some bearish trades here. All right, let's go back to the graphs. Actually, I want to take a look at another trading opportunity here. So we've got Palantir on this one. Let's go ahead, type in. I know, Joey, right? Let's go ahead. What is the oil ETF? So you got Drip and Gush. Drip is the bear. So let's go take a look at Drip. So Drip is setting up. You have the downtrend starting to dissipate. Been steadily hitting a lower high. You know what? I like the setup here. You had a hammer, which shows typically reversal, strong volume, starting to move higher. Let me go ahead, zoom in to a 1 month. I'm going to bring my line to stand here, figure out where we need to go. 443. So I'm going to take this as a swing trade, a short-term swing trade. Let's go ahead, add it to the portfolio. I'll show you guys how this all works. I'll go to next, trading for the charity portfolio. We'll go ahead. There we go. Stop criteria, recommended stop. Actually, we'll go ahead and use the profit locker. Do we want to use profit locker? Actually, let's go switch that up a little bit. We'll do profit locker pro. We'll do aggressive. That'll keep the stops tight. Go ahead, change it from market to a limit. So this way you guys can see this firsthand as well. So 453, preview the order. As a swing trade, we're not really worried about getting that exact cent. So I'm okay with that. And waiting for it to go through. And so 453 is our entry. And our support, or our line of sand to protect us on the downside, is going to be at 443 if we don't meet the pro trader stops, the profit locker pro stops that we have put on it. So that is what we'll keep an eye on here. That order should be coming through any moment now. There we go. All right. So Drip, going to be a short-term swing trade. We'll keep an eye on this and we'll manage it and we'll talk about it. So going forward now, any swing trades that we get in the portfolio, when we first start up the session or the stream every week or every day, we'll highlight some of those trades. We'll look at them, analyze them together, and talk about them and go over our game plan with them as well. So if you're one to follow along, make sure to be here in the beginning of the sessions where we'll analyze them and talk about our game plan as we move forward in those trades. Awesome. So there we go. Drip going to be our swing trade candidate we got here today. Let's go take a look at some other opportunities, however. So go to UPST, see how that's handling itself. We'll zoom in to a 3 month. Still trading below that point. Volume, though, is still pretty light, so it doesn't give you a whole lot of confirmation to the downside quite yet. Tesla's now moving even lower. Tesla, if you're going to be an interesting one to take a look at for another swing trade candidate. FNGD. It's looking at the FANG stocks. It's one of the biggest Tesla bear holdings that you have. Seeing a nice move with this one so far here today. It is more aggressive. It's more speculative, especially at the lower price right now. But you have stochastics starting to pick up. You have 3 and the 8 starting to converge. So I may not get into this one here today. On that note, though, we'll look at it tomorrow. If we get downward movement tomorrow again, this may be one we'll keep on our radar. So what I'll do is I'll come into the viewers. I'm going to keep an ongoing list of these. So we'll go to the watch list viewer here. Trading for Charity watch list. FNGD. Put in TSLA. UPST. NVIDIA. NVDA. Let me make sure. I think that was all of them so far, but let's go take a look. Cool. I think that's all of them. Let's go into the graphs. We got those stocks. So any stocks you guys put in here, we'll put into this list, and we'll keep a ongoing list running throughout the next month. All right. So we got that. Let's go take a look at NVDA. Whew. NVIDIA pulling back here today. So most likely some profit taking going on. The market's been selling off. No surprise. Just moving with the overall movement of the market. PYPL. We'll take a look at that as well. So NVIDIA pulling back here today. PayPal. Did PayPal miss earnings? Because that does not look that great right now. ASO. Let's go zoom out. Let's go 3 month. So NVIDIA, you've had a substantial run here. You tried to break to a new high. Looks like it's just getting affected by the overall market. You know, all boats rise with the tide and all boats fall with the tide. And that's what we're starting to see here. As a side note, support, you know, you have the high here. We've clearly broken below that. Maybe 297. You have some consolidation from the close on this big up day on the 4th. You also have the stopping of the pullback on the 5th. So maybe 297 would be an entry point or a point to put a line to sand in. PayPal missed earnings. That's what I was thinking. On a big drop like that, it's what it looks like. Zooming out. So zooming out, PayPal's already been in a steady decline though. At the very top of the graph, you can see this red, yellow, and green bar. And that shows the VectorVest ratings that we give on every single stock every single day. So we give a buy, hold, or sell rating that are all based upon rules rather than analyst opinions. When we look at this here, you can see it was a buy for quite some time, bouncing around between a hold and a buy. And then all of a sudden it dropped. You saw it bounce to a hold and then stayed a hold for quite some time and now starting to hit that sell territory. So it is showing some signs of weakness. You've been in a steady downtrend for quite some time. Huge volume here today. It is an oversold territory. So you could take the contrarian play. If the market's moving higher, maybe tomorrow, you could say, okay, it may fill that gap. Because as we know, when a stock gaps up or down, it tends to fill that gap 90% of the time. So taking a contrarian play on something that is grossly oversold like this may not be a bad look. So we'll look at this one tomorrow. We'll keep this on our radar for tomorrow. Let's go back into the viewers and add those here though. So NVDA, ASO, PYPL. All right, there we go. So that's PayPal right now. And then ASO, Academy Sports. Right now you're at resistance. I need to see it break and close above resistance. Because yes, it's slightly above that resistance level, but on weak volume currently. And we want to see volume confirm that breakout, not really be as weak as it is right now. That shows not a lot of strength pushing it higher right now. So be careful with that one. Roger's coming in and wanted to look at STM. Let's go ahead and take a look at STM. STM. Go down here. STM, you gapped up, had a really nice run, but let's zoom in. Volume is a little lighter, so you don't have to worry about it too much. You do see a potential weak reversal, a little bit of selling pressure coming out on that high. Pull back here today, but then again, let's take a look at the markets. Markets are down. Dow's down about 0.5%. NASDAQ getting worse, down about 0.6%. S&P down about 0.5%. VectorVest Composite down about 0.2% still. So We have seen the major indices clearly selling off more so than we've seen the last few days. And that seems to be affecting, the broad market as a whole, which is why VectorVest puts an emphasis on the VectorVest composite rather than just looking at the major indices. Because the VectorVest composite, when we go back to the homepage real quick, and then we'll take a look at those other two stocks. When we look at the VectorVest composite, we can see that it's an average of about 9,000 stocks rather than just looking at the Dow's 30 or the Nasdaq's 100 or the S&P's 500. So we get a better feel for what's actually occurring in the market rather than just looking at, small segments of the market. And that's one of the powers that VectorVest can provide that nobody else out there can, really match. So looking at STM, we do see a little bit of weakness. Looks like it's just trading lower due to the overall market. But overall, it's been on a nice steady run. The 3 indicator is still positive. Stochastic stays in overbought territory, but as we can see throughout previous times, it can stay in that overbought territory for quite some time. Looking at DPO is confirming that new high. That's exactly what you want to see. The sell-off here today is on light volume, telling us the buyers are still in control. So STM looks pretty good right now. Let's see, APP, and taking a look at app. Let's go pull it up. So app, you had a breakout through resistance here. You gapped up most likely after earnings, steadily moving higher, pulled back, came to that retest here, and then off to the new highs right now. One thing I will say, look at volume. Not a lot of volume quite yet. So this may be one, keep an eye on, closer to the end of the day. See if volume can push that back closer to the high of the day for the, of the session here today. One other thing is looking at the DPO, also looking at stochastics. We can see the DPO is slightly moving lower. Stochastics are slightly moving lower, even though price has been moving higher. So keep that in, or keep an eye on that, and make sure that you see a breakout. Let's go ahead, add a freehand line on here. You see a breakout of this slight downtrend. You want to see on a new high that DPO is also hitting a new high, giving confirmation of that move there. So keep an eye on that later today. That will be a big insight into what potentially is to come. All right, let's keep moving through. So we've got those. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and add that into the list. Make sure we get that in there. App. So APP. All right, ongoing list we got here now. Okay, so we've got that list set up. Let's go back into the unit search tool. Take a look at searches price volume. Daily boomers. See if there's any new setups coming in. I want to find at least one day trade here that we can jump on board with. KPLT, look at that thing. Man, oh man. FIVN. FIVN would be more of a swing trade though. FIVN. And also today's markets just haven't been the most conducive, but then, we got to at least try. If you don't try, you never succeed, right? VGR tracks EVGO. Yeah, I'm not really liking the majority of these so far. FREQ, really light volume. I'd stay away from that one. All right, let's go ahead real quick. We got some other stocks coming in. We'll analyze a few more. And let's see, we've got that. So APPS, PAC, PACK, and then AGC. I thought didn't we not have that one? Let's go see here. Yeah, AGC is in this list already. Man, KPLT is rocking and rolling here, folks. This is an interesting one. Yeah, we may have missed that first run because we were looking at other opportunities, but looking at it here, you have a new breakout to a new high, volume continuing to increase. Want to see if it can hold that though. Let's go. All right. Take a look real quick. So apps, go back. Apps, really not doing a whole lot. Granted, it's doing better than what we're seeing with the vast majority of stocks, but moved up higher, moved lower, and just been flat most of the day so far. Looking at PAX has extremely low volume. I like the move. I'm not really a fan of the volume for an intraday trade. Ford's been steadily moving lower as well. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's go 6 month. Ford, you had a huge run up to the highs of about 20. I'd be careful at this stage. Keep an eye on what's coming next. If it gets followed through tomorrow, that could be a reversal coming in with that one. PAX on an end of day perspective, though, for a swing trade perspective, I like what we're seeing. For a day trade perspective, not so much. Apps, so you had a missed earnings here. Looks like it's trying to consolidate a little bit. You had this support resistance at 67.37, but we're not quite to that level yet. It looks like we are trying to find some type of consolidation right around 70 to about 73. KPLT, I believe, was earnings, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go ahead, hit the news, take a look. So KPLT up 33% so far today alone. Shareholders, blah, blah, red. They invested a year ago. Okay, cool. I want to know what's causing it right now. Third quarter earnings. So yes, they look like they had pretty decent earnings performance or earnings announcement this morning. And that's what's seeing them move higher here. Let's go ahead real quick, zoom out. Let's go 6 month. See a steady, consistent downtrend. So as a swing trade, I'm a little hesitant to take this just for the fact that it's been steadily hitting lower highs and lower lows, by definition, putting it in a downtrend. And trying to swing trade or trying to take advantage of these pops on these lower trending stocks is like trying to catch a falling knife. And that's not a sound investment strategy. But on a positive note, you are potentially hitting a higher low here. Higher lows tends to lead to higher highs. That is a good sign, especially after a strong earnings performance, seeing a nice uptick, strong volume relative to what it's been trading at recently. So new buying starting to come in. Could be an interesting play here. Let's go ahead. This would be one. All right, so KPLT, we may have missed the day trade, but we found an interesting candidate to keep an eye on. What we'll do is we'll let this play out, going back to the end of day look. Let's go zoom out to 6 month. I like the potential higher low. If we can close strong here today and get followed through tomorrow. So we'll take a look at this one tomorrow. We could potentially use this as a swing trade candidate. So let's go ahead, add that to the list. KPLT. So Global's saying pending lawsuit. So had a partnership with AFRM. AFRM. Let's see. Be the stock news. Let's go pull that up, see if we can find information about that. No. Yahoo Finance, not really giving us a whole lot of insight there. So KPLT lawsuit. Let's see. Okay. Certain violated security exchange. So potential what? Insider trading, it looks like. Got you. So it's a buy now, pay later program. But what's the lawsuit about? That's what I'm looking for. Further disclosed, observed meaningful negative change, both e-commerce retail sales forecasted and consumer spending. Former SPAC. So yeah, okay. So insider trading is what they're facing right now. That brings a lot of insight into what we're seeing on the end of day chart here. But at the same time, I still stick by from a technical perspective. If we can close strong here today, even on a down day, and we get follow through tomorrow, that could be the start of a new run. And then if you do get follow through tomorrow, our targets that we're going to be looking at are going to be this resistance right here at 750. So if we get in at 6, it's $1.50. That's what, 25% move? Not a bad move, especially for a swing trade in a very short period of time. So I like the move. I like the target. We'll keep an eye on this one tomorrow. That's why the reason the price dropped. So yeah, do they have any insight of when they're expecting to find any resolution with that? And yeah, earnings were great, and that's what we're seeing this 30% run here today from, is a phenomenal earnings report. Okay, so we've got that. We've got those. All right, we've been live for about an hour and a half. Let's go ahead. We'll start to wrap things up here today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's first stream. If you guys have other ideas of what you want to see throughout the next month during these Trading for Charity events, by all means, let me know. Also, we will be posting a poll in a little bit here, and I'm going to let you guys decide where the toys go for the kids. We can either do, well, two different options. One is a local children's hospital here in Charlotte. It's called Levine's Children's Hospital. They do a drive every single year during the holiday season where they ask for donations and ask for toys, all that kind of stuff. So we can either use the proceeds from this event to go towards Levine's Children's Hospital, or because Glenn is an ex-Marine, Toys for Tots is a Marine event that they do. So in light of Glenn, or in respect for Glenn, we can do either the Toys for Tots, or we can donate the toys to Levine's Children's Hospital. So I will be posting a poll in a little bit, and I will leave that decision up to you guys. Which one will be the main benefit or beneficiary of this event that we have going on? So as always, thank you guys for all tuning in here today. Let's take a look at what the market's doing. Market's still not looking great. Dow's still down about 0.5%. Nasdaq's down about 0.7%. S&P's down about 0.5%. VectorVest Composite still staying down about 0.2%. So it's interesting. It seems to be the Nasdaq that's really pulling the markets down. The overall VectorVest Composite hasn't really budged that much in the last hour and a half. It's still staying down around 0.2%. So most likely a lot of what we're seeing right now is going into the Tesla sell-off, some of the major tech stocks that we're seeing pulling back, Nvidia being one of them, Tesla being another. So that seems to be the main areas, or the main sour areas in the market. So if those start to improve, maybe we can have some overall pops in the market, and that give us some better opportunities there. Always my mistake there, Walt. I apologize. Splitting 50-50. So, okay. I'll give that as a secondary or third option as well. All right. So make sure to follow the channel. If you guys aren't already subscribed, make sure to subscribe to the VectorVest YouTube channel. Make sure to tell all your friends, because the more people we have subscribed over the course of the next month, the more money VectorVest will be donating on your behalf. So you don't even have to put in any money to help out and to help kids less fortunate have a better holiday season. So thank you all for tuning in for the very first Trading for Charity stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yourself today. Hopefully you learned something, and make sure to spread the word. Tell all your friends, tell all your family, tell them to come hang out, learn a thing or two, learn how to become financially independent through the use of the stock market. Also, thank you all who have donated today. I greatly appreciate that. As always, any donations that we get during these Trading for Charity streams will be going directly to the overall pool that we have at the end of the end of the Trading for Charity event. So thank you all for who donated. Thank you to all the new subscribers. On behalf of VectorVest, we greatly appreciate all the support. And until tomorrow at 11:30, I hope you all have a great rest of your trading day. Take care, be safe out there, and we'll see you in the morning. Bye for now, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.